The following is a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties. From Dunning Field in New Canaan, it's high school boys lacrosse on the HAN Network. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rob Adams. Frank Granito's with me for the call tonight, along with AJ Simonowski and Justin Galante, as tonight the New Canaan Rams host the Staples Wreckers. And really a game that is kind of the classic trap game. Although, don't ignore the Wreckers. They've had an outstanding season, and they remain perfect, and that's where we get things going here tonight, Frank. Certainly, as we talked about on Nutmeg Sports earlier this afternoon, we're watching the Wreckers, but at the same time, you know, the Rams have to get through the Wreckers to get to the Darien Blue Wave.
And that's where all eyes in the country are right now, hoping for the 5-7 matchup of teams in the nation on Saturday. But as much as this is a trap game for the Rams, you're right, Rob, the Wreckers do not see it that way at all. They are here. They think they belong in the FCIAC, and they are looking to continue their undefeated season.
AJ Simonowski up here as well as we watch the two teams meet at midfield, and a raw night, possibly rain, although it seems like that chance is dropping as the evening goes along, AJ, but still two teams that are looking forward to this game.
Definitely, Rob. Rain doesn't seem to know whether or not it's going to make up its mind, depending on which app you check. And we check several before game time. It could rain. It could not. Nobody seems to know. Wind, not really going to be that much of a factor, but it is cold. It is much colder than it's been in the last couple of days. Does that come into play? We'll find out.
And we'll find out for sure. Let's head down to the field and bring in the next member of our broadcast crew, and that's Justin Galante. Justin, good evening. Well, how's it down on the field?
Well, I can certainly say it's cold down here. Staples on the sideline. The word you've heard a lot is belief. If you want to compete in the FCIAC, like you guys said, you have to beat teams like New Canaan and Darien, a couple nationally ranked teams. Well, Staples coach Paul McNulty on the sideline said it. Believe you guys can win this game.
Justin, thank you very much. As the teams head off to their respective side now, we ask you to keep in mind, with the weather being a consideration, our camera deployment is a little different this evening. Two cameras up here in the press box. AJ is on one of them. Bill Bloxham on the other with the face-off, and we are underway with New Canaan moving from left to right.
And Cravado comes away with the draw. We saw Nick Cravado dominate against Bailey Sevilla of Greenwich in their last game. Sevilla was 24 of 27 against Schwarber just last week against Staples. So that's something to keep an eye on tonight in the draw control category.
26 seconds gone by in the opening frame. And the Rams will set up shop. Kyle Smith brings it over near side. Finds Ryan O'Connell, the junior. They go back behind the cage, swing it back around. Work it from Clayton Burt. In goes O'Connell. Tried to fight his way through a couple of defenders. Swiping at him was Josh Willis. Willis, the senior, for the Wreckers. Paul McNulty, as Justin mentioned, for the Wreckers. Chip Buzzio, the head coach of the New Canaan Rams. 1 minute gone by, no score. Back behind the net. They'll work over to the far side in a scoreless game, setting it up as they bring it over and hit off the side, and diving on top of it to make the play is Peter Berger. Now it's put on net, and they'll bring it back around to the near side.
That was Sam Algrim, who was standing in the cage. Berger was out of position, and Algrim will be credited with the first save of the night.
Off to the far side they go. A battle of 29s over there between Nick Femia and Michael Real. Down the right side it goes. Scoreless game. 10:20 to go, first quarter. To the near side. Once again, work it over for the Wreckers. They'll work it back out with Ryan Fincher, the sophomore. Far side they go. And the save made by the great Drew Morris.
And we talked about it earlier today on Nutmeg Sports. We are buying the hype on Drew Morris. I watched him in warm-ups, Rob, and he had guys in front putting the high-low fakes on, trying to deke him, and he stood up to all of them. He has been stupendous this year.
20 yards out, Kyle Smith for the Rams. They're in the white with the black numbers in the block style, outlined in red. New Canaan on the front of the jersey. Staples in their usual colors, that navy blue with the white and always that little hint of silver, and the close look, and they are able to put it home.
And that's a good job. We saw that first possession. Staples in the zone defense. New Canaan doing a good job with skip passes around the outside, trying to find the extra defender. Apelt from the X position, able to find Swindell in front, buries it down low on the far side.
And AJ just Swindell continuing to play so well.
Picking up right where he left off when we saw them last week against Cardinals. 1-0 New Canaan.
9:28 to go in the first, Frank. 1-0.
He is the leading goal scorer for this Ram team. That's his 26th point on the season, his 16th goal. He is the only New Canaan player in double digits in both goals and assists.
It's a 1-0 game, as they'll work it and turn it right back around. Taken by the Rams, looking to break out. And put on net, and they score again, 2-0.
Nick Cravato does it himself that time, guys. Picks up the loose ball from the Staples offensive zone, takes it back on his own, puts the shot on net, and he scores.
That'll be Cravato's first goal of the year, just 20 seconds after the Swindell goal. Cravado usually will win the draw and head right off. Doesn't join the offensive possession much. Staples actually won that draw. New Canaan forced the turnover. Great job by Cravado working upfield, and it's 2-0 Rams early on.
And as we've often talked about, often your face-off specialist will immediately head to the sideline. On occasion, you get that offensive rush. He was able to do it there. So 2-0, and Justin, I would imagine, very clearly not the start that the Wreckers wanted.
No, absolutely not, Rob. And if Staples is going to win this game, they have to avoid mistakes. And so far, 2 big mistakes already. Early in the game on the first possession, they made a save and then turned it over immediately. And if it wasn't for Sam Algram, it'd be 3-0 right there. And on the previous goal, Staples won the faceoff, but like you guys said, a bad turnover leading to an easy New Canaan goal.
2-0 the score, 8:50 to go in the opening frame on a dank, dark Tuesday night here at Dunning Field.
The word I would use is gloomy, Rob.
It is gloomy. It is gloomy. I will not disagree with that. Temperature as we got things going, just 50 degrees here tonight. Off to the near side with the Wreckers, who probably need a quick goal to kind of stop some of the bleeding going on here.
A good possession would do them well. It's going to be tough to get a goal early on, Ed Morris, especially after he had that first save. But don't turn it over right now. Get some motion going. Try to get a shot on goal from a high percentage area, and I think that's what Coach will be looking for here.
Looking to do something with it. They go over and scoop it back up. The Rams had a hand on it. It goes out of bounds. That was James Cravato, the junior defenseman who came over. But it'll stay with the Wreckers in a 2-0 game. This is Evan Zinn, the sophomore. 25 yards out of the net. Takes a check from Mike Cognetta as the ball bounces around and grabbed right back by Real and the Wreckers. He heads down 10 yards out, steps in right along the line, works it around the back of the cage in a 2-0 game.
Stop me if this sounds familiar, Rob. A Cognetta right in the middle of things.
Absolutely. But Real doing a good job. They get deep back there with Ross Goldberg, the senior. Work it 20 yards out. Dancing in goes Tanner Wood. Wood fakes. Brings it back to Connor Chamberlain. Chamberlain had a good game a week ago against Greenwich. This is Reale again. He starts to move to get around Andrew Bowers' field. The shot turned around. A second try, and Morris does what he does.
And that first shot took a hard skip off the turf. I could be wrong, Justin, but it looked like it hit the post from where we're standing.
Top crossbar on that one.
2-0 the score, and 7 minutes to go in the first.
The crossbar, sometimes your best friend and your worst enemy.
And then if you're the St. Louis Blues, well, that's a whole different conversation. If you saw that game last night, my goodness. Off double posts last night in that 3-2 win. Bouncer turned around. It'll be taken back the other way. David Strupp has got it for the Rams. It's a 2-0 game, 6:35 to go in the first.
That last shot looked like didn't get all the way through. Either Strupp or Cognetta might have gotten a block on that one. And, Rob, this New Canaan defense is the heart of this team. They have been the best part of this team all season long in 3 games against Loyola Blakefield, Brunswick, and Greenwich. They have held teams scoreless for over 10 minutes.
I think to your point a few minutes ago, that was a good possession just to keep the ball moving and establish something.
It was, and you've got a little bit of a rhythm. Obviously, the shot off the crossbar is tough. You had a good look and forced Morris to make another strong save. You've got to come back with a strong defensive effort now.
Exactly. Big spot here just early on. I know 5:55 to go in the first, but still in a 2-0 game against a national power. For the Wreckers, they're trying to make a statement here as Smith goes back behind the net. They'll spin right back around, and along comes Clayton Burt. Burt to Kyle Smith. Smith feeds down. Burt again. Back to Smith. Thought about the shot. Turns around. Now he winds. Puts it on net, and the save made right into the stick of Peter Berger.
Whose stick has actually snapped in half.
So he will go grab a new stick.
This is incredible how many sticks we're seeing break this season. This is I've never seen a lacrosse stick break in my life before, and we've seen 4 in our last 2 games.
Exactly.
The New Canaan coaching staff yelling at the referees that he can't play with a broken stick. That should be a turnover in New Canaan ball, but the refs having none of it.
Certainly got to work that angle.
It's smart. It's smart heads-up play by Coach Buzzio there. I think they're going to say that it was broken after the shot had come on goal and that the shot caused it, so that's why they were blowing it dead right away.
Off to the near side it goes. A 2-0 game. Staples will look to work it back from right to left. Getting it across the line. Matt Johnson going down that right side with our first flag of the evening. It'll go behind the cage. Chamberlain back there. Swings it around toward Tanner Wood. Right along the line. Now it's Evan Zinn inside the numbers. A 2-0 Rams lead and 4:54 to go in the first. Again behind the net. Reset things back there. Zinn feeds it out in front, and they're able to score with Reale right on the doorstep. It's 2-1.
Might be as close to a hockey-style one-timer as you're ever going to see in this one, guys. It did not look like he had the ball in his stick for very long before he turned the shot in and is able to find the back of the net.
No, and it looked like he caught that one and quickly snapped it around his back to the far side, beating Morris, who looked to be deceived from the start. That'll pick up the flag, so the Rams won't go down, but a huge goal here for the Wreckers.
Justin, your thoughts?
Well, guys, Staples obviously excited about the goal, but a lot of credit has to go to their managers because they just worked vigorously to get Peter Berger his stick back. He only brings one with him, so he had someone else's in his hand, and they made sure before this face-off occurs that they got him his stick back in net. Big for Staples is on the sideline. They're saying right now, we're in this, we have a chance.
2-1 the score and 4.5 to go in the first quarter at Dunning Field in New Canaan. Of course, Hawes Plaza as well. We often forget as we refer to the facility to mention Hawes Plaza, but that is part of the official name of this facility. We were talking about it before the broadcast, approaching 20 years of this place, AJ. Down the right side goes Burt. He'll go back behind the net. 2-1 the score and 4:05 to go in the first.
Rob, I want to point out David Strupp with a great interception of a pass at just about his own 45-yard line, able to turn a Staples possession back around for the Rams.
We often say it, and it's worth repeating, a true lacrosse field, such as Rafferty up at Fairfield University, isn't going to have the football lines on it, but it is nice for the descriptive purposes to have those numbers and those lines. As it comes back out across the line, it'll turn the other way and head back toward the Staples Wreckers from right to left. 3:39 to go in the first. So they'll go down the right side, head back behind the net, work it over to the near side from Chamberlain. Back there goes Ross Goldberg. Goldberg with Strupp on him, works it near side. 20 yards out, Turning around Reale, who has the goal, sends it back to Zinn. They play catch. Kyle Smith standing nearby. Working it now 10 yards out and staying inside the football numbers. Zinn will head into the end zone. Close to it, in fact. He'll hand it off back there. That went to Johnson. Johnson again from Reale. Johnson goes across. They're playing catch with Tanner Wood. Johnson again has, as I always like to say, a Cognetta on them. In that case, it's Matt. Frank Cognetta nowhere to be found.
Richmond, Virginia, playing for the Spiders this year.
Love Richmond, Virginia. One of my favorite cities in the world, actually. And a lot of student athletes from this area heading to Richmond, which is kind of cool to see. We knew that from the FCIAC tour. 2:19 to go in the first. It's a 2-1 game, and now the turnover takes it back. Strupp will head out, step across the line, dances around Johnson, takes a look to his right, finds Kyle Smith. Smith staying inside the hash marks. Nifty move down low, but unable to convert. So they'll go behind the net. It's a 2-1 game, 1:57 to go in the first.
That was Burt trying to find Biseglia in front, who just couldn't get a handle on that pass. Great back check from the Wreckers there to break up the opportunity in front of the net.
Matt Cognetta went to throw it back the other way, but the Wreckers have got it. So they spin around, and a whistle, and a timeout. And it seems like a good timeout there, Justin, because I think everybody, there was kind of chaos down there.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Staples coaching staff telling their players to attack the ball. Easy turnovers come when you let the ball come to you and a New Canaan Ram can step in front of it. We've seen that a couple times so far tonight. So the Staples coaching staff making sure their players are aggressive, coming after the ball. They need to value possessions against such a strong defense.
We'll grab a quick timeout while we can. 2-1 the score, 1:39 to go in the first. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN network.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or go to coastalorthoexpress.com. That's coastalorthoexpress.com. Like them on Facebook.
Join the HAN Network and Make-A-Wish Connecticut to help make travel wishes come true for local kids with life-threatening medical conditions. Donate your unused airline miles to the HAN Network Wishes in Flight campaign. Together we can share the power of a wish.
All right, back here, Rob Adams, Frank Granito, AJ Simonowski, Justin Galanti. Let's head it down to Justin for a moment as we can get some of the bookkeeping and catch up here. Justin.
Just a quick update. It was Zinn on the assist for Staples. 2-1 game right now. Referees having a discussion here. It'll be Staples' ball coming out of the timeout.
They are having a discussion as we can spy out at midfield. 1:39 to go in the first in a 2-1 game. The Rams with the goals from Swindell and Cravato, while Reale with the goal for Staples. And a flag down, and this looks like stick violations.
Stick violations on both teams, I would imagine.
Cognetta walking over, as well as, is that Chase Levy?
Chase Levy.
So, guys, the penalties, 1 minute on Staples for a deep pocket, and then 3 minutes on New Canaan for a deep pocket.
Interesting. All right, Justin, thank you. All right, and the official comes over and explains it to the scoreboard. 3 minutes for New Canaan, 1 for Staples.
Now, Frank, I admit to not being as up on lacrosse penalties as some. Is the depth of the net subject to the severity of the penalty? What's the difference that the referees saw?
Yes, I'll answer it. It's the deep pocket. It can't. There's a certain depth it can be, and this went a lot deeper than it should.
So a super deep pocket is worthy of the 3 minutes?
That's it right there.
I could tell you about an illegal curve on a hockey stick, but
I thought you knew everything, Frank. You're
Frank
disappointing
does know
me.
everything.
I knew that you could. I knew you can have an illegal pocket. I was unaware there are. I guess maybe for every inch it's illegal, it's a minute penalty.
It's deeper severities. Yep.
And guys, I'm not sure, but the refs gave Staples the stick back to fix, but the New Canaan stick they put on the scorer's table, and they're not allowed to take it back.
And that speaks again to the severity of the situation. 35 remaining on the one penalty, the shorter of the two, and 2.5 to go on the New Canaan penalty. It's a 2-1 game, 1:05 to go in the first.
And Staples with possession here as this first penalty is going to expire. I would be surprised to see them try to take a shot unless it's from right in front of the net. Let that time run out, and then you've got 2 minutes worth of the man advantage.
Backing it all the way out to Frank's point. That's Chamberlain. Chamberlain just trying to play keep away, getting around James Cravato. Sends it back to Zinn. Zinn, patient, back there. Down to a half minute to go in the first as the first penalty is expired. So now a man up is Staples. Zinn thought about it, at least put on a good show. They'll play a little game fake. Bring it back to Zinn. 15 to go. Near side again. Faking on the try. That was Goldberg. We're down to 5. Crowd getting grumpy. They're not the ones who get the final say as the quarter comes to an end. And certainly the New Canaan fans are going to try to get in the grill of Staples to get them to fire off a shot, but no need to. They stayed true to the plan after 1 here at Dunning Field in New Canaan. The New Canaan Rams 2, the Staples Wreckers 1. We start the second quarter right after this. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Getting ready to start the second quarter here at Dunning Field in New Canaan. I'm Rob, that's Frank, AJ's over there, Justin's on the field. 2-1 the score, and 1:21 remaining of man advantage for the Staples Wreckers, who trail 2-1.
And a big thing to point out, Staples, by not attempting a shot, holding on to the ball at the end of the quarter there, will start the second on possession instead of having to take a face-off.
Which is a key factor, which is why they waited to the end of the quarter. It just made all the sense. Drew Morris now down to our right. The official ready to put the ball in play, and away we go.
We saw Evans in. He's up at the top on the left wing right now of this man advantage. If he can get to the center of this umbrella, expect him to wind up and let one go.
Sending it all the way around. Chamberlain to Zinn. Very patient Reale to Wood. Now they start to move. 27 seconds gone by, second quarter. Behind the cage it is. 50 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Getting down low. A good look and a bouncer in by Reale. Ties it at 2.
That was a real strong take by Reale. He shook. That was Andrew Bowersfeld, who was down guarding him at the goal line. Good fake up high, beats Morris down low. His second of the game matches the New Canaan total, and we're tied up at 2.
And as good as Drew Morris has been, it's so hard to defend a shot from basically in your face. Just a little flick of the wrist, and the ball's behind him.
Justin, not a whole lot you can do in that spot.
No, absolutely not. And we can see the difference in styles between Staples and New Canaan early in this one. New Canaan firing shots from everywhere at Levy, while Staples, with a goalie as good as Drew Morris, they're trying to get the perfect shot from the perfect angle in order to score because they feel like shots from long distance are really not useful against such a good goaltender.
So now tied at 2 and a timeout taken. We will do the same. 46 seconds gone by, second quarter. New Canaan 2, Staples 2. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances. Where community comes first. A place where there's more than one kind of interest. Where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well. Until April 30th, choose $150 cash or a Smeg toaster when you open a My Bank Well Choice checking account with a minimum of $2,000.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
11:14 to go, second quarter, 2-2 the score.
And you really get the feel that since that first Staples goal, momentum has shifted their way. They've had control of possession for a while, and it feels like have taken over the pace of this game since that point in time.
Long launch down and turned right back around. Here come the Wreckers looking to take the lead with a flag down and a bouncer that goes behind the cage.
And that is a huge mistake on the part of New Canaan. Morris tries to stretch the field and send a 50-yard pass to Swindell, who was uncovered for that matter, but the turnover leads to now what is a two-man advantage for the Wreckers for 17 seconds.
Frank, rare that you see Peter Swindell not come up with an athletic play, but that ball was several feet over his head.
By the way, you wonder, we have not touched on it yet, but I should right now, you wonder about Darien. Wonder no more. Darien 20, St. Joseph 2.
They are firing on all cylinders is an understatement about that team right now.
Off to the near side it goes. Sent right back. Goldberg takes a look. 7 seconds remaining before the first penalty expires, and it's on net and they score! Chamberlain makes it a 3-2 game.
And Rob, Frank, I don't know if you guys caught this. Reale with a no-look pass across the entire defensive formation, finds his man on the far side, puts it home.
And that's devil's advocate to the defensive diamond moving around and rotating as much. They're able to spread them out with the two-man advantage, but one skip pass, and it's a wide-open shot, and that is how you finish.
And Justin, go ahead.
Frank, you said before the game you thought this was a classic trap game from New Canaan. Well, they came out hot, up 2-0 right away, and it kind of seems like they've taken their foot off the gas a little bit. On that last possession, we saw a lazy turnover leading to a Staples goal.
And AJ, as you said, that Reale assist, that's his third point of the game already.
So a 3-2 lead now for the Wreckers on top of the Rams, 10:41 to go in the first half. As you can imagine, not a big crowd here tonight as the lights are on, and they will be needed as we go along. Cravato wins the faceoff with a little spinorama 30 yards out of the net. Makes his move, comes over near side. Of course, he's already scored once, now backs it out and gives it off to Burt. Burt will have a sprint down the left side. Right along the numbers he goes. Now he'll turn around and play keep away, send it back out. Kyle Smith's got it. 10:17 to go in the first half. Along comes Swindell. He moves in, but it's Smith who holds on to the ball. Sends it far side for O'Connell. They'll go back behind, play it over there, work it around to the far side again, 10 yards out. O'Connell again. Taking a look, he sends it. Ball movement to Swindell on the far side. Now they'll bring it back. Quick look and fired over the net by Smith. Smith gets it back, winds, bounces it, actually doesn't bounce it, just rockets it on net and grabbed by Berger.
And Kyle Smith is a player to watch the rest of this game. He is 1 for about his last 85 shots now. I was talking with him the other day. He is in a struggle trying to hit the back of the net, and the frustrations are beginning to mount.
And a bad turnover turns into an opportunity. Here come the Rams. It was Jackson Apelt, the junior, coming down. Now it's Smith. Back to Apelt. And they'll reset things back behind with Burt. Going far side. Work it all the way around from O'Connell. 25 yards out to Smith. Back to O'Connell. 9:05 to go first half. It's a 3-2 Staples lead. Being patient. With a head of steam off to the near side comes Jack Holzer. First time we've mentioned his name today. Heads back behind the net to Burt. Jack Holzer, the junior. Shows some of the depth of this team. Here's Swindell. Swindell inside the numbers. The fake back to Swindell and the bouncer, and he scores. And that's one that you want to have back. When you're against a team like this, Frank, you can't allow goals like that one.
No, that's going to be frustrating, and credit Coach Buzzio getting Kyle Smith out for a possession, bringing in Holzer, who's a big shot, and you have to respect from no matter how far out he is. Defender favors him, allows Swindell the space on the bounce shot, and that's a perfect low to high, buries it right in the top corner.
And guys, great ball movement by the Rams on that possession, making up for the possession they had immediately before, which is a little lackluster. They didn't get a very good look at the net, but they find Swindell wide open, and he buries it.
Another face-off win for Cravato. Brings it back along. It'll be taken by Mike Cognetta. Hands it off to Burt. Burt running along, moves it down low. Got away from Apelt. Lost it for a moment. It's scooped right back up by the Wreckers. Chase Levy with the ball.
Lost it both literally and figuratively.
Good movement by Josh Willis. Has a man wide open on the near side, but they can't get it to Tanner Wood. Wood did have, if the ball moves quickly enough, Wood is standing there to put it home.
Yeah, and I think the ball got stuck on the pass coming out of Willis's hands, and they were just unable to convert it. Smart, though, to slow it down, set up a possession now for the Wreckers.
Just regroup after they had that 3-2 lead. We're not at 3, 7:40 to go in the first half here at Dunning Field. Again, the spin around goes from Zinn. Zinn working, trying to get around Matt Cognetta, the senior. Heads toward the end zone, goes back behind the cage, of course, feeds it with a bouncer, over it goes, and got it off to Wood. Now put down and bouncing off to the near side, but retaining possession, the Wreckers. Zinn 20 yards out. Keeps it inside the numbers, going to Reale. 7 to go, first half. A 3-3 game. Again, Wood. Wood on the near side. Will flip it along. Gets it right back from Zinn. Using the left-handed shot, feeds it off to the far side. Stays inside the numbers, though. Here's Reale. Reale just working it all the way around. Had 2 Wreckers nearby, but it was taken away ultimately by Johnson. Back to Reale. Reale with the bouncer that comes along and goes away. Back behind the net.
Staples living a little bit dangerously on that possession with some of the crossing passes. Not really clear lanes to get it across to the other side. They were lucky to be able to retrieve as many of those balls as they did.
And that one sails as they tried to go through the crease to the opposite side. Just a bit too tall, unable to climb the ladder was Matt Johnson. Johnson is actually a D-midi for this Wreckers team. He has over 15 points on the season, though, for them.
It's a 3-3 game. 6:15 to go to intermission. Back out it comes. Played there by Holzer. Holzer will send it along to Kyle Smith, 25 yards out. He works in, goes outside the football numbers, now turns around. Sends it back behind the cage. Swinging it near side Holzer. Again, back out O'Connell. Far side along comes Smith. From Apelt over here to the near side. And there's Holzer. Holzer playing catch. Back it goes to the near side again in a 3-3 game, 5:29 to go first half. Burt went to get a shot off. He was met and sandwiched between two defenders, and that bounced away. 5:17 clock running, first half.
No Swindell this possession for the Rams. They've got O'Connell, Smith, Apelt, Biseglia, Burt, and Holzer.
And Holzer, the man with the ball right now. He gets 20 yards out, now works it over to the near side to Smith. Apelt behind the net. Had a man coming in down low, O'Connell, as it bounces out to center but stays alive at midfield. Turned right back around. Apelt had it, Holzer had it, turned around and taken away. Billy Hutchison doing the honors for the Wreckers. Here's Goldberg. Now they'll slow things down with Chamberlain. 4:35 to go in the first half of a 3-3 game. Good stuff here at Dunning Field with the lights on a chilly night. Temperatures sitting right around 50 degrees. Crowd not huge, but some dedicated fans here tonight nonetheless. It will be a huge crowd in Darien on Saturday, especially if the Rams hold serve. Staying inside the numbers, Johnson. They'll go behind the cage again with 4 to go in the first half. Back there, Reale. Almost threw it to a wide open Tanner Wood, lost the handle, and they bring it back the other way. Get it across the line. It got knocked aside. Heading over toward Chip Buzzio, who's just jumping up and down, and of course working the officials, and a timeout will be spent here with 3:46 to go in the first half. Chip Buzzio practically jumping out of his skin.
And it's a tough situation for the Rams. Andrew Bowersfeld, who came up with that ground ball, runs right to the opposite side of the field there before anyone else is there to help. Not the best ball handler as a D-midi with the long stick. Loses it once. As soon as he got it the second time, a smart timeout taken.
We remind you again, just because it's worth mentioning, you're normally probably used to, if you know the network enough, then you see more camera angles and all that. Tonight we're a little condensed in entirety due to the weather because, again, there was that chance of rain, so we just condensed things a little bit, brought things inside. AJ's on one camera, Bill blocks him on another, and I'm sure it's looking all great via the direction of Eric Gendron, despite the Red Sox hat.
Better to keep the equipment dry than risk leaving it out where it could get wet and ruined and broken.
And the most important thing, Eric is off mic, so hashtag free Brady. 3:46 to go to intermission. However, we freed Justin. He's down on the field.
Thanks, Rob. In that timeout, Coach Buzzio, the word I heard over and over again was value the ball, value your possessions. And on that last one, he wasn't happy. He tried to call a timeout for, let's say about 15 seconds, and it wasn't being granted until, obviously, eventually it was.
Well, and that's what he was hopping about. Thank you, Justin. 3:35 to go first half. Swindell goes right. Smith gets it back. Brings it over near side. The quick ball moving to Apelt. Working it around. They'll go far side again. Staying right along the hash mark, Swindell. This is a more aggressive style of offense from the Rams. A lot of passing going on here. Near side again, Apelt. Work it right back high. Sent it down towards Smith. Losing the handle on it. Scooping for it. Along comes the Wreckers. No, it's Burt to get it.
Rob, actually a great play there by Peter Swindell. He was able to swat it away from the Staples defender and give, Clayton Burt, a chance to recover it for the Rams.
And the Rams changing up their offense. We saw that last session there. They had no exposition, 2 guys in front of the net trying to keep the zone condensed. Now they'll go back with Apelt behind the net, spread it back out.
Swindell hands it off to Biseglia, the junior. They play catch again. Back to Swindell. Faked on the try. Battles with Josh Willis. Along comes Burt with 2:24 to go, first half. Swindell taking a look at Willis. Plays catch with Smith. Smith gets it back. Willis standing nearby. Working it far side again. They'll go behind the cage. 2:09 to go in the first half. A 3-3 game. Good game here tonight at Dunning. Gets away from Burt. He's got to get around the man back there trying to create some havoc. Now along comes Brandon Adrian, the senior, and flags just go propelling into the air.
Flags from everywhere, Rob. Every single official threw a flag on that check.
And Clayton Burt goes into the football end zone, gets some words of wisdom, and we'll deal with the penalty as well.
First time the Rams will head to the man advantage opportunity here, and a big opportunity for them at this point in the game.
You can actually say just for the sake of seeing something funny, I wish we had a camera in such a way to capture the entire field, because you could see 3 bright orange flags go about 50 yards in the air simultaneously.
They're just picking the one up at midfield now.
That's right. Justin.
And that's going to be a 2-minute non-releasable unnecessary roughness penalty.
You could hear the groaning in the crowd, and you knew it was legit.
And it was when he was on the ground. They took the extra shot down there, and it's just not going to fly in this type of situation. The key word in that statement, they're going to play the rest of this half no matter what, non-releasable here. So the Rams have got to throw as many smart shots on goal as they can.
Holzer to Swindell. Swindell to Holzer. Got in too close and rockets it home. 4-3 Rams.
New Canaan capitalizing immediately. Almost felt like Swindell acting like a bit of a decoy on that possession, as he was open from roughly the same position he scored his last goal on, but Holzer breaks towards the net, gets free of his man, wide open.
It's the kicker connection again for New Canaan, and Holzer, we said it last time we watched them. Chip Buzzio said he has the best shot on this team. It is the hardest, and it is a straight shot to the back of the net. You let him get to 10 yards, there's probably not a goalie in the nation that's going to be able to get a piece of it.
1:46 to go in the first half. 4-3 the score. Again, the penalty non-releasable, so there's still 1:48 remaining on it.
And that shot, Rob, I mean, that one was in the middle of the net. It wasn't in a corner or anything. Berger couldn't react until it had already hit the twine.
And Nick Cravato with another face-off win. Here's Swindell. Sends it to the far side. Goes back behind the net. Swinging it back to this side where Holzer awaits. Got away from Smith. Smith able to scoop it away. Almost like he had lost an errant golf ball, which would be my game. And they go far side again.
Speaking of errant golf balls, we're really excited for that future Han Network golf broadcast.
Here's Holzer, who sends it wide. You like doing these games, right, Frank?
HAN broadcast.
HAN Network, Frank.
HAN Network.
How long have you been around?
We're going to do golf sometime in the next 4 to 5 years, hopefully.
Oh, gosh. Back behind the net it goes. 48 to go in the half. I don't mind playing golf on a day like this, personally, because this will go out of bounds. So it'll be Staples' ball with 39.1 to go in the half.
And guys, I think as Berger's stick has broken again.
And they will whistle the play dead. That is going to draw the ire of the New Canaan fans, but he threw the ball and his stick just went in half.
Guys, what I was going to say before young Mr. Berger's stick decided to disintegrate on him again, and the Rams are going to kick themselves for not capitalizing more on the possession they had, up a man, unreleasable for the rest of the half, to come away with, so far, just the one goal feels a bit disappointing.
And it's a very lucky break for them that the stick fails Berger and they get it off a turnover, because they had just sent a pass into their own bench. But now you've got to be extra aggressive here with only 20 seconds left.
Holzer grabs it, down to 19. Holzer to Smith. Smith to Burt, back to Smith. Smith will put it on net and get one.
And you could see Steve Young pulling the monkey off the back with that shot. Kyle Smith, who almost about 5 minutes ago went off the field and threw his stick up in the air wondering what he had to do. Great bounce shot there, able to get it to go. And like you said, AJ, needed to be more aggressive on the man advantage. They have 10 seconds left. They can win this draw.
Now, can we call this the Granito anti-curse? Because so far, you called him out. Kyle Smith won for his last bazillion shots, and here he is able to find one with just 10. I'm going to call it 10 seconds. It's 10.1, but let's call it 10 seconds left.
Face-off back out at midfield, down to 7. Grabbed by the Wreckers, but the officials say, wait a minute, and not so fast. Let's grab a timeout with 5 to go in the half.
And that's a smart timeout by Staples there as soon as they got possession. Allow yourself to try to set up a play before this last seconds wind down.
Justin, down to you.
Thanks, Rob. Staples seems to be extremely frustrated on the sidelines right now. If you think about it, you're playing against a top 10 ranked team. You play 18 strong minutes, and then unfortunately you take a penalty, and it looks like they're going to go into the half down 2 goals. But on the Staples side, Coach McNulty's team in the timeout right now. We're playing great. Let's hold the ball, be smart for 5 seconds, and get into the half only down 2.
5-3 the score. Teams will come back out of the timeout.
And it's been a game of hills right now. Both teams have had their high points, and then their low points have been low. And you felt that the life has been sucked out of their sidelines, and they have just lost all control of that game at those point in times.
Justin, part of a Staples High grad, as are 2 Staples High soon-to-be grads down to our right. All part of the WWPT fraternity. Jackson Valente and Ben Clow are both here tonight calling the game at the very opposite end of the box that we're in with a flag down on the field.
It's going to be an illegal pocket, and it's going to be the other Cognetta.
Mike Cognetta in this case.
What's going on with the sticks in the Cognetta house? Can we get Frank on this? That would be Frank Cognetta, not Frank Granito. Though, Frank, if you have any connections with the Cognetta family, give them a call.
I'm actually very close with the family. They're both football guys. They both played in the secondary for me. I can see their father, Mike Jr., standing down behind the end zone, and I'm going to be sending him a text at halftime wondering what is going on in that garage.
Down to Justin.
That one's going to be another illegal stick, another 3-minute penalty, non-releasable, so that could be the break Staples needs to get back from their unnecessary roughness penalty that put them down 2 goals.
And again, that key word, or key words, if you will, is non-releasable.
I believe that would be one word if you hyphenate it.
This is true. So 5 seconds to go in the first half as we count words and everything else. And 5-3 the score. Off the whistle, Reale got the shot off with 1, and it was a good one, but it sailed on him, and the first half will come to an end.
Got a good look, and he put it on. It was past the goal with time still left, so had it been on cage, it had a chance.
Which is really the only play, if you're Staples, that's the only play you can run with 5 seconds left. You've got possession starting from about midfield. Run as close as you can and just let it rip. Hope for the best.
And the big benefit there, you're working towards the scoreboard, so as he's coming in, he's got a sense of how long he has to get that shot off.
We'll let Justin get a word in as well as he's down on the field.
And guys, Staples will come out of the half with another man advantage for 2 minutes and 52 seconds. And this is one of those cases where a team down 2 goals, but based on the opponent, probably feels pretty happy about being down 2 goals.
Justin, thank you very much. We have reached halftime at Dunning Field in New Canaan. And our halftime score, the New Canaan Rams 5, the Staples Wreckers 3. We will take a break. Return to New Canaan shortly with a 5-3 score. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network. It was a great game, but it got messy at the end. With sports, I'm Rob Adams. Kate, back to you.
Thanks, Rob. Well, speaking of messy, here's a story about how Triple S cleaned up a big problem for the HAN Network. Eric, let's roll that footage.
The HAN Network travels all over Fairfield County in our HAN Cruiser, covering news, sports, and entertainment.
And when we do, we make sure that our HAN Network branded floor mats are with us to keep the dust and dirt outside.
These mats get filthy, and there's only one company that can get rid of that kind of dirt.
Triple S, with locations all over Fairfield County. We're just now pulling into their Stamford facility. Rob, let's go see if Steve and Wanda can clean these mats up.
Wanda, Steve, literally thousands of feet have walked across our mats in the last 5 months in wind, rain, mud, more.
Is there any way you could make these mats look like new again?
No problem.
That's what we do here. Come on in.
For more than 50 years, SSS has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, SSS will get the job done fast, big or small. At SSS, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at SSSclean.com or 203-847-8000.
At the Sylvan Learning Center of Darien, experienced teachers and personalized academic support equals superior results. Our certified teachers uncover skill gaps, address specific needs, and help students realize greater academic success and increased confidence. We're enrolling now. Individualized after-school tutoring in reading, math, history, elementary math, algebra, geometry, calculus, high school science, and study skills. For a free consultation, call 203-655-3276 or email gmcsylvan@gmail.com.
Are you hoping winter is finally in our rearview mirror? Can't wait for the air and water temperatures to start rising? Well, if the answer is yes, you need to get over to Darien or Westport and stop by the Dock Shop, where it's always summer. Both shops are being stocked with lots of new merchandise, including fishing tackle, marine electronics, boating supplies, and more. But remember, the Dock Shop isn't your average tackle shop. At the Dock Shop, you'll also find the finest selection of nautical apparel, jewelry, home decor, and gifts in New England. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Online at dockshop.com.
A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with a Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
For over 25 years, Mike Cizik Painting and Wallpapering has been the name to know for residential and commercial properties in Fairfield County. He uses only the top brands, including Benjamin Moore, for impeccable preparation and lasting quality. Call Mike now and receive $500 off any job over $7,000. Mike is currently accepting reservations for spring, so call him today at 203-770-8869 or 203-972-3310. For your custom painting, finishing, and staining needs, it's Mike Cizik.
Do you need help reaching or maintaining your fitness goals? For over 20 years, Mike Pernice has tailored his time and expertise to clients on both coasts whose schedules demand flexibility and accountability. Mike is a certified lifestyle manager and has been called upon to help his clients eliminate negative behaviors such as coping with stress, improving their time management, setting realistic life goals, and cutting down compulsive behavior. If you're ready to start working toward a more energetic, productive, and healthier you, call Mike Pernice.
Want to learn how sponsored content can help your business? Let the HAN Network help. First of all, what is sponsored content? Well, it's a story, video, or other content compelling enough for folks to want to read it, view it, or interact with it, and it's sponsored by a business. We create this kind of content for clients all the time. We build an interesting story or video that carefully weaves your business's brand into the narrative. It might be a story about how the condominium law in New York State makes property taxes on condos much lower than in Connecticut. The sponsor is a condo developer in Westchester, New York. Or a video explaining the European roots of a cafe and yoga studio in Wilton. Or talking about the history of a brand, product, or store while showing its modern-day incarnation. or even a poll that asks readers to answer a question that leads them to your brand. Let the HAN Network Content Studio build a story around your business. What's happening up in Hartford and what's trending in the Nutmeg State?
Join Kate Chaplinsky
And Josh Fisher.
on CT Pulse live Wednesdays at 12:30 to find out.
We talk to the leaders and newsmakers while breaking down the stories you should be paying attention to each week.
With the help of HAN's editorial cartoonist Doug Smith, we take a humorous look at the news of the week. We talk about everything you were told you should avoid bringing up in polite company.
CT Pulse, Wednesdays at 12:30 on the HAN Network.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday right here on the HAN Network.
I'm Denise DiGregoli, the host of The Drive on the HAN Network. Join me Tuesdays for some motivational, intelligent talk with a little humor as we visit with people who live their lives mindfully. Tune in to The Drive live on Tuesdays, 12:30, here on the HAN Network.
When it comes to local entertainment, we've got it all.
From movies, local artists, etiquette, and more.
Watch HAN Arts and Leisure every Thursday at 2 on the HAN Network.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Back at Dunning Field, Rob Adams, Frank Granito, AJ Simonowski, Justin Galanti, and he's standing nearby, Dave Stewart, who we all just, well, he's Dave Stewart. I mean, that's all there is to it. 5-3 our score here. Dave, of course, my occasional co-host on Nutmeg Sports, as well as the true FCIAC guru and sports editor of the New Canaan Advertiser. 5-3, New Canaan on top of Staples.
And it's been a good game so far. Both teams have controlled the pace of play at times. Both teams have been a little sloppy. We've gone back and forth. Scoring-wise, it was 2-0 New Canaan before it was 3-2 Staples. Now sits at 5-3 in favor of the Rams. And, Rob, do you sort of feel like anytime we're doing a lacrosse game now, it is just streaks of 2 and 3 nonstop?
It absolutely is every time. AJ, 2 and 3 goals, and it's almost like you don't really see any real distance between the two teams.
No, I would have to agree. You get the goals seem to be coming in clumps as the lights go on and then yet off in the press box here at Dunning Field.
Well, it's always the question of how is the glare impacting from the lights? Are you seeing it better with the lights? As a guy who spent many years in the Cardinal Stadium press box, I know that drill. I used to bring a little lamp with me for the Friday night games. Had to do it.
Do we need to invest in a lamp for you?
Well,
keep it on the rig?
I love lamp. You teed me up and I went there.
Well, Rob, it's been fun calling this game with you. I'm going to leave now.
Justin, down to you. More conversations with the coaches. I'm very intrigued what the officials are talking about.
Yeah, I can't repeat the exact word that he's using.
Okay.
But there is a warning being issued to both benches that the referees are only going to listen to arguments, conversation from the head coaches. They don't want to hear any more out of the assistant coaches or the players on either bench.
Fair enough.
And now back to AJ and a glass box of emotions.
Frank, I believe it is a glass case of emotions.
Wow. Second half, ready to go.
Leaving with you.
How am I schooling you on a Will Ferrell quote?
You're his biggest fan.
5-3 the score. Back to Lacrosse we go.
And this is a huge face-off, Rob. Cravato's been very good throughout the first half. If he can get possession here, New Canaan able to chip away at the 2:55 of the non-releasable penalty.
Darien has done their part. They knocked off St. Joseph earlier today, 20-2, so they await New Canaan on Saturday. And now it's just a question of, will New Canaan also be still an undefeated national power? Second half, away we go.
They're going to say Schwarber held Cravato on that face-off there, so that's how the Rams got possession. But I thought that was the best battle we've seen in the draw circle so far.
I agree. Swindell back behind the net. Takes a check back there and a whistle.
And it looked like Swindell stepped on that back line. Couldn't quite walk it close enough. So the turnover there, Berger with it now as the Wreckers look to get back on offense.
25 seconds gone by, 2.5 remaining on the non-releasable. Bring it across the line, they swing it over to the left, and waiting over here is Goldberg. Goldberg sends it a few yards outside of the end zone. They'll flip it back. Reale standing there. They'll play catch with Zinn. Go off to the far side. Send it along. Back it goes Goldberg. 20 yards out. Taking a look from Reale. Comes over to Zinn. Again, swinging it along. Taking it back. It's Zinn. Zinn goes right side. Reale to Zinn. Here's Zinn. It's a 5-3 game and a minute and change gone by in the second half. Good look, tight, but it bounced away.
And that was a really nice up and under move from Chamberlain right there. Avoided the defender. I believe that was Matt Cognetta as he comes up with possession on the turnover. Rob, keep an eye on Evan Zinn. He's been quiet up to this point, but he has creeped up to the top of the umbrella now where he is looking to let one go from.
So out come the Rams, moving from left to right in the white with the red and black. Staying outside the numbers, Cognetta gives it back. Taken there by Apelt. Lost the handle for a moment, and there's the whistle to turn it the other way. Down to 10:20 to go third quarter in a 5-3 game. And across the line comes Reale. He'll leave it behind for Zinn. Goes off to the far side, waiting there. That was Wood. Tanner Wood, the junior. Here's Zinn. They spin and take a look. Playing catch there with Chamberlain. Chamberlain and Goldberg. Back to Reale. Still 40 remaining on that non-releasable. Back it goes to Zinn. Zinn bounced away. Lost it for a moment, picked up Goldberg. Down to a half remaining on it.
And AJ, we talked about how frustrating we thought that New Canaan possession was. Staples has now gone through 2 minutes and 30 seconds without taking a shot here.
If they get away without taking a shot, which it looks like they just may, big missed opportunity for the Wreckers.
12 seconds remaining on it, Reale. Reale with a hop step, feeds it. Good defense by the Rams, and it bounces away with 3.
And that was Zinn letting that one go. He finally got a look from the offhand side, though, a tough angle. And it looked like Morris was able to get enough of it to deflect it away from the cage.
And that releases the penalty. It's over. 5-3 and 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Missed opportunity for the Wreckers.
And Frank, you wonder if Zinn rushed that shot a little bit, knowing that he was running out of time on the man advantage. Maybe didn't have quite the look he could have.
They'll go back behind the net. Goldberg. Reale looked like he was going to take the shot. Stays patient, but sends it wide again. Again, the New Canaan defense, you've got to be patient with it. You've got to find your openings. They found that opening 3 times to get goals, but missing on this chance.
And I think Staples has done a good job with a lot of head fakes. They've faked making passes to the next man. The New Canaan defenders have been very aggressive at times, and it's opened up lanes for the Wreckers.
Reale tried to get the shot away. They keep fighting for it to the far sideline. And they'll spin it away and take it back with the Rams, who will move from left to right in 8:15 to go in the third quarter. As Morris brings it all the way out, here's O'Connell. Big in transition is O'Connell, getting a check from Willis. Steps outside the numbers, and 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Will send the roller along as Holzer checks in. Holzer playing catch with Smith. 30 yards out. Now they bring it along to Apelt. Goes back behind the cage with 7:45 to go in the third quarter. O'Connell turns and fires.
We saw him do that same shot against Greenwich. He is so lethal coming around the net to the right side where he can shoot with that big right-hand shot on the short side of the goalie as he's able to beat Berger.
So it's a 6-3 game, and for the Rams, they have scored the last 4.
Rob, I got nothing. That was a beautiful shot from Ryan O'Connell.
Terrific effort.
And he has been very quiet all day. O'Connell is another 20-point scorer on the year. That's his 23rd for the Rams. It is his 20th goal of the season.
A 6-3 game. And Cravato, another face-off win. Back out Swindell. So he'll leave it behind. And Holzer will set things up.
And AJ, if you're the Rams right now, do you want to be a little patient with this possession, or do you think you try to step on the throat and go for the jugular here?
I would think you want to get another goal as quickly as possible. Don't be stupid. Execute your passes, set your plays up. If you have a shot, take it.
Graham Braden in now for the Rams. He had the ball, gave it along. Little bouncer gets away. Good job initially. Can the Wreckers get it? They do. So they're able to pick it up with 6:40 to go in the third quarter. That was Sam Ulgram who scooped it away for Staples in the navy and white. 6.5 to go, third quarter, 6-3 New Canaan. Trying to set up that undefeated national showdown on Saturday. And the whistle and a flag here. 2, in fact. Once they get the conversation over on what these are, we'll go down to Justin and check in with him. A 6-3 game, 6:25 to go in the third quarter.
And guys, after that last New Canaan goal, it was basically palpable deflation on the Staples sidelines. They come out of the half with a man advantage for about 2 minutes, don't score. New Canaan comes down and scores right away. Tough break for them. And then on these penalties, looks like the refs are talking at midfield right now, but the impression I got was that the initial penalty on New Canaan, and then they're going to offset because of retaliation on the Staples side. So I don't think either side's going to get an advantage here.
6:25 to go, third quarter, a 6-3 game. We're in a timeout. Let's take a timeout. From Dunning Field in New Canaan, you're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or go to coastalorthoexpress.com. That's coastalorthoexpress.com. Like them on Facebook.
Join the HAN Network and Make-A-Wish Connecticut to help make travel wishes come true for local kids with life-threatening medical conditions. Donate your unused airline miles to the HAN Network Wishes in Flight campaign. Over 70% of wishes granted involve travel, and your unused airline miles can help make kids' dreams become a reality. Plus, once you donate your miles to Make-A-Wish, they will never expire. Donate your unused miles and help the HAN Network share the power of a wish.
6:25 to go, third quarter. The penalties are offsetting. Justin, you've got more on that.
Yeah, offsetting penalties on both sides. The initial one, like I said, came on New Canaan. Staples with the retaliation, so nobody's serving time, nobody with an advantage.
All right, Justin, thank you very much. Justin Galante walking the sideline for us tonight. 6-3, 6:17 to go, third quarter at New Canaan High School's Dunning Field.
And doing a mighty fine job of it, he is, Rob.
No, he's outstanding and glad to have him as part of the group. Back out it goes. Here's Holzer, 20 yards out. He steps inside, flips it along. This got away, and it'll head over to the far side. So it'll turn to New Canaan. From left to right they go in the white with the red and black.
And, Rob, something interesting to point out here. Both teams have played 8 games coming into this one. Staples has scored 111 goals to this point in the season, averaging 13.87 a game. They have not been held under 10 once all year. The Rams, on the other hand, have not surrendered more than 10. And right now it looks like the Rams hold the upper hand in this battle.
5:40 to go, third quarter, 6-3. And along it comes to Burt. Burt sends it back out, Kyle Smith. Smith steps along, stays outside the football numbers. Sends it toward the football end zone. Back there, Apelt. Apelt for New Canaan. Here's Smith. Interesting chant from the crowd as it goes to the far side and outside the numbers. But everybody having a good time here tonight. A brisk evening for sure. Temperatures beginning to dip down toward the upper 40s. Here's Swindell. Goes left. That's Apelt. Jackson Apelt wearing number 6. Goes behind the cage. Ryan O'Connell back there. The turn left and then right by Burt. Again, they send it far side. Very patient as they slow everything down. 4:38 to go, third quarter. Not a high-scoring affair at 6-3. Swindell, now the aggressive move, and it's flipped along and turned right back and snagged away by the Wreckers. They'll move it from right to left. In need of something to kind of change up the luck here, Josh Willis.
And you can hear the fans saying it. A great play by Peter Swindell, the midfielder known more for his offensive skill, comes all the way back onto the defensive end, able to wall off Willis and force the turnover.
4:07 to go, third quarter. The roller goes off to the far side, 30 yards outside of the net. Holzer comes on there. He meets up Donnie Macaluso, the defender. Again, O'Connell, now to Smith, 10 yards out. Stays on the near side, sends it back behind the cage. 3:40 to go, third quarter, a 6-3 game.
And Frank, you can see on this possession and the previous one for the Rams, Staples' defense being a lot more aggressive in challenging the shooters.
As that got sent wide.
And you're right, AJ, as we saw that one there. Getting a stick on Holzer was Brandon Adrian, who rushed all the way out to the wing to stop that one. Going back to that last New Canaan possession, Rob, you talked about it. I thought it was a great, strong take to the front of the cage from O'Connell. Just couldn't get his stick around far enough to try to wrap it on cage.
O'Connell goes left to Holzer. He gets it back. It's a 6-3 Ram lead. Here comes O'Connell. The big movement, bouncer goes away. But again, another strong move by O'Connell, this time getting, about 5 yards out. He just bounced it a little too far.
And he has woken up here in the second half and has become much more involved, which has made this Rams offense start to move a lot better.
Smith got away from Holzer, out to midfield. The little flip along from Strupp and grabbed away again. Here comes Burt. Burt inside the numbers. Burt had his pocket picked, and it comes near side. Another pocket picking goes on. Heads toward the sideline. Lots of contact. And away it goes to the Wreckers. You can hear fans just outside our window, and needless to say, as we're at Dunning Field in New Canaan, that was not exactly a pro Staples roar.
No, that was a tough call. The Rams thought that one of their guys was pushed going over, trying to check. That was Drew O'Brien off the loose ball there, but no call. They'll say it was last touch by the Rams, so Staples with a big possession now with 2:20 left in the third.
And, of course, everybody keeping an eye on this to see if we've got the big matchup on Saturday between Darien and New Canaan. Now it's sent and knocked away by Morris.
The first shot we've seen today from Tanner Wood. The last time we saw him at the Greenwich game, he had 5 goals for the Wreckers. Put that one in a pretty easy spot as Morris made it look as routine as it gets.
Guys, I'm thinking if Drew Morris keeps playing the way we've seen him play this year, he needs some kind of a nickname.
He's just been great, and they're really a guy that good doesn't even need a nickname. He's just Drew Morris, and he's so outstanding. 1:48 to go, third quarter. At the same time, don't discard Peter Berger. He's played well also. 6-3 the score, 1:40 to go, third quarter.
And you're right, Rob. New Canaan has 6 goals right now because Berger has been so strong. This could be a 5 or 6 goal difference, and the Wreckers have got to do something to cut it down from 3.
The initial save now snagged back by the Rams. They'll move it from left to right with Mike Cognetta, the senior. Bring it near side. David Strupp, the long stick. Across the line, Holzer. Holzer looks to his right. Here's Burt. Burt didn't have the angle, so the look down low, and it got away from Braden. So now the loose ball, they'll scrum for it back there with 1 minute to go in the third quarter in a 6-3 game. Well, you know the drill. When the calls go against you, they're terrible. When they go for you, great call, ref. Under 1 to go, third quarter, it stays with the Rams.
But whatever the reason, Rob, possession staying with New Canaan. They'll look to finish out the quarter with a goal or at least a shot.
Bottom line is they were able to retain the ball. Off to the left side it goes. That was Braden. Braden, nope, can't handle the pass from Smith. It'll go off to the far side. Staples ball they can hold with 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It's a 6-3 game right now. It was 5-3 at the break. Just 1 third quarter goal. So here are the Wreckers bringing it across. Algram gets it ahead Goldberg. Goldberg didn't like the angle. Chamberlain down to 7. We're hitting 5. Chamberlain lost the handle, goes behind the net. Ball loose, some checking, and it'll turn away with 2.3 to go in the third quarter. Morris runs it all the way over to the near side. He'll have Goldberg on him. He'll just play keep away, and the third quarter will come to an end after 3 in New Canaan. Rams 6, Wreckers 3. Fourth quarter starts right after this. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Chop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Alberto Londano Professional Painting, Wallpapering, and Carpentry has been serving Fairfield County for over 20 years. Based in Norwalk, Alberto takes pride in his work by offering you only the best quality service and products. Call Alberto today to get a free estimate and be one step closer to a new and exciting home makeover. 203-866-9635.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
Let's start the fourth quarter. Dunningfield in New Canaan. Rob, Frank, AJ, Justin. Let's start with Justin as we head into quarter number 4 of a 6-3 game.
Thank you, Rob. On the Staples side, you guys have talked about Drew Morris, how good he's been in net. Well, it's unbelievable on the Staples sideline. It seems like they've never seen a goalie play like this. They have shot after shot that they feel like in 90% of games against FCIAC teams are going in. On every save Morris makes, they're oohing and eyeing. And it seems like they're forcing it a little bit. And on the New Canaan side, noticeably more into it in this half, celebrating with everyone on every stop, every ground ball, every goal. Staples seems to be pressing and a little nervous, feeling like one goal from New Canaan could really blow it open.
Away we go into quarter number 4, off to the near side. It'll be Staples' ball, 9 seconds gone by. Goals largely at a premium in a 6-3 game. There's Tanner Wood. Wood going behind the net. Goes to the far side. Sends it along to that far sideline. Jack Holzer 20 yards out. Here's Michael Reale. They play catch just about 10 yards away from each other. The low bouncer, and it flipped away. This will come way up into the stands, in fact.
The way that ball caromed, that had to have been deflected by Morris. Or possibly the pipe, but either way, ended up nearly in Hall's Plaza. Hawes Plaza, excuse me. I should know better.
36 seconds gone by, AJ. Fourth quarter, 6-3 game. Reale, 20 yards and change out. Reale looking as if he wanted to shoot it, doesn't. Goldberg behind with Strupp on him. Sent back, down low. Bouncer, and not a great shot.
And really credit the New Canaan defense on that shot. As soon as Chamberlain got to the slot, he was smothered by Femia, Bowersfeld, and what looked like one of the Cognettas, who, as you said, AJ, everywhere, anywhere and everywhere.
If you stick with the name Cognetta, you'll usually be right.
66 is Matt, 21 is Mike. All wonderful athletes. Frank graduated a year ago.
Vin working his way up from the 7th grade right now.
Coming over to the near side. Smith had it. Smith lost it. Instead, it's Braden. Braden to O'Connell and sent wide. 10:16 to go.
You saw Berger go down to the split right there. Almost a kick save and a beauty.
Back out it comes. Again, playing catch. Back to Smith, 20 yards out. Smith along Swindell. Swindell losing it with Smith. They'll scrum for it on the far side. In the glare, it can be a little tougher to see that ball on the far side. Just the way the light's reflecting here.
And Rob, picking up that last ground ball, that was Clayton Bird. He has not had a lot of shots on goal today, but how many times has he saved a possession picking up an errant pass or a loose ball?
He has played a very good game. Sometimes it's not what you see on the stat sheet. There's Swindell. Bouncer got away from Braden and scooped right up by the long stick of Billy Hutchison. And then the turnover and a bad one, and Apelt makes them pay. 7-3.
An ill-advised, no-look, behind-the-back, backwards pass to the goalie for Staples. Jackson Appel is able to intercept it. He's all by himself in front of the net. Nothing could be done.
And Hutchinson was getting close to that sideline. He was getting walled off, and it was most likely a panic move, just trying to throw it blindly back to the goalie before running out of bounds. Unfortunately, at that point in time, you might have to just step on the line and let the possession start from over there.
Back out for the face-off. And again, Cravato comes away with it. Cravato running between the numbers, sends it along, and he heads off. Down to 9:10 to go. Clayton Burt, far sideline. As they head into the end zone, he lost possession. It'll turn away and go to the Wreckers, who are chasing 4 with 9 minutes to play. Justin, that's a deflating goal that the Rams just scored there. I imagine the Wreckers not all that happy.
Yeah, you can imagine the reaction on the Staples sideline. In the first half, they were very deliberate offensively, protecting the ball, but in the second half, it seems like due to the fact that they've had so much trouble scoring, they're forcing it a little bit, making some ill-advised passes, turning the ball over, and then right there a case where a turnover led directly to a goal. And just a penalty update, we have a trip on New Canaan. It's going to be a 1-minute penalty.
All right. 7-3 the score. 1-minute penalty coming up here. 8:53 to play. And now looking like a large hill to climb for the Wreckers as they chase 4.
Especially with the way this game has been played. Both teams, and we've seen this last few games now, we've watched, it's been defensive struggles. The zone defense has really messed with offense's flow. They're not able to get a lot of momentum going. So if you're the Wreckers, you've got to get ultra aggressive now moving down the stretch.
Reale standing to the right. The penalty on Burt. Has 39 seconds remaining in it. Comes over to Reale. Right along the hash marks. Goes behind the net. Goldberg. The low bouncer got knocked away by Morris. Picked right back up. Zinn was the one with the shot. And he's able to regroup. Zinn, a couple of yards along. He gets it back. Zinn to Reale. Reale fakes on the shot. Chamberlain sets it up. Here's Wood. Wood goes wide. 7:58 to go. Fourth quarter, a 7-3 New Canaan lead. 5 seconds remaining on the penalty.
Wood was about 5 yards in front of the net with a very good look, and he yanked the shot a little too hard.
Zinn lost the handle. Reale fakes. A flag will fly here. Along it comes. Back to Tanner Wood. Along it goes to Zinn. Chamberlain down to 7:35 to go. There's the whistle, and here's the penalty. So a man up here with 7:35 remaining.
And Rob, that's James Cravato heading off on the penalty.
He'll go for a hold there. A stick got caught in the midsection, and whether or not you're trying to hook someone, if you get stuck there, you're going to go sit down, or excuse me, take a knee.
In this case, only 30 seconds. 7.5 to go. Here's Wood. Wood back to Reale. From Johnson. Work it all the way around. Spinning Goldberg. Goldberg behind Reale, waiting. Throws it! Scores!
And that was a great possession. They did a really good job of the man advantage. Work it all the way around. Quick passes. It forces the defense to shift. Stopping on a dime behind the net. Goldberg reverses field. Finds Reale, who caught that, saw the top left corner, and didn't look anywhere else until he buried it.
It's a 7-4 game with 7:18 to play.
And guys, this one that the Wreckers needed to have. They did not get that goal in. You would have had a minute 30 on offense, up a man, and if New Canaan holds them off there, that is a crushing blow to Staples.
Back for a big face-off. Wreckers had it. Cravato says not so fast. Turns around, and from right to left he goes. 7:10 to go, still plenty of time.
And as if what Cravato was doing wasn't impressive enough, he is only a sophomore for this Rams team.
A timeout taken here. 7:01 to go. New Canaan 7, Staples 4. We'll grab a break. We'll return to Dunning Field right after this. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
The HAN Network is the leader in local broadcasting in Fairfield and Westchester counties. We reach tens of thousands of viewers via our live news, sports, and entertainment broadcasting. We can create your advertisement and broadcast it through our programming to one of the most affluent markets in the United States. And remember, our broadcasting is live, which means viewers cannot skip or click past your marketing message. And we measure our audience and their demographics on every broadcast. To advertise on the HAN Network, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday, right here on the HAN Network. Back at Dunning Field in New Canaan, 7:01 to go. Among the many wonderful things in our archive, and there are so many great interviews that we've had the great pleasure of conducting. Of course, we had Bernie Williams on in sports at one time. We had Mariano Rivera face-to-face with us for close to 15 minutes. But today we stepped into the world of entertainment, and Loretta Swit joined us. Of course, Major Margaret Houlihan from the great TV series MASH. She was a delight to talk to on Coffee Break. And you can find that interview online, both in its entirety via Coffee Break and just the interview itself in its own entry, both those in the archives at HAN.network. 6:40 to go. Ms. Swit coming to Bridgeport to perform in a play in the name of Eleanor Roosevelt. And you can get tickets at the Klein Auditorium. 6:25 to go, fourth quarter. New Canaan up 3, 7-4. Staples trying to rally, but they need a defensive stop here. Ryan O'Connell goes left, and that's sent wide by Holzer. And that's as close as you're ever going to see from our perspective of knowing when a guy held onto it a tad too long.
And it just gets stuck in the stick there, and he yanks it a bit too far. And that's going to be frustrating too. O'Connell been heating up. Holzer has been a little quiet this half right now. We see him out there with 6 minutes to play.
6:05 remaining. Here's Swindell. Of course, Chip Buzzio and company more than happy to be patient. You know the Darien Blue Wave are watching at this point and certainly taking notes. Swindell sends it back out on high. Waiting there, Holzer goes far side as we get down to 5:40 to play. A cutting man was Swindell, scooped right back up. Sandwiched, loose, and Braden gets knocked flying. A flag will fly, and the whistle will sound. 5:34 to go.
Gutsy play from Graham Braden there. He went right into the heart of the defense, was pinballed around for a little while before finally getting leveled from the side, and I believe it was Chase Levy who had the hit.
And Frank, I've actually just seen a second flag be thrown as the official was heading over to the scorer's table. As Justin mentioned at halftime, the coaches were warned about chatter, and you wonder if this is actually a bench penalty.
And the guy who can explain it, Justin Galanti.
Absolutely right there. We have unnecessary roughness on Staples and then a bench conduct minor. So Staples will be 2 men down.
That is not good for the Wreckers. 7-4, 5.5 to play. Now the officials will talk it all over again. Of course, they need to know what to put on the scoreboard. But game resumes.
We've got an issue here. The clock not running. The refs finally picking up on the scoreboard, unsure of what they're supposed to put on.
They hadn't put the penalty up yet, so that was the issue. But the Staples sideline currently, as you would imagine, concerned about New Canaan milking the clock, especially with the man advantage. They need to come out and press against the Rams to try and get the ball back, as they're saying. And on that last goal, Michael Reale had a big shot going from a low release point up to a high angle. Staples coaching staff telling their players that to score on Drew Morris, they need to change angles. If you go high to high, he'll see it.
Back out it goes, and too close and knocked away. Berger's best stop of the night. O'Connell came flying in, and some of the best right there from the Staples net. But again, still 35 remaining on the man advantage. Swindell throws it, and Berger able to grab that. Remember, Berger, his stick at one point just came apart.
Well, we had him break his first stick originally, and then in the second quarter, he went to throw a pass, and the head just went flying through the air.
What a backhand pass there. Down it goes. Tic-tac. No! Drew Morris again.
And Tanner Wood took 1 second too long to hold on to that pass. But credit Drew Morris in the anticipation, knowing to get over in time, sprawled out on his legs, and just got the stick where it needed to be.
4.5 remaining. It's a 7-4 game. New Canaan up 3. Morris will take it back, come 20 yards out, send it along, goes far side.
And Frank, as you see so often, not only the presence of mind to make the initial save, but to control the rebound.
Here's Swindell. Inside the numbers, Holzer. Back to Kyle Smith. Back to Holzer. Along near side, Swindell. Fakes, then turns around. Holzer. Holzer started to dance in, backs it out. Holzer again. Left side, Swindell. Peter Swindell. Out it goes Jack Holzer. 3:57 to go. 7-4. New Canaan leads Staples. That gets away, comes out to midfield, and it will go towards Staples.
I'll say Bowersfeld stepped on the 50-yard line there. That's offside, so Staples possession.
What has to come away is a bit of a lucky break there for the Wreckers. Peter Swindell was wide open, cutting towards the high slot there, where he has made several shots from.
Correction, Zinn. The opposite 11 is Evan Zinn. He sends it wide. It was a shot he took, worth taking, but it's going to bounce away and go back in favor of the Rams.
And it's only a bad shot because there's no wrecker behind the net to maintain possession.
Exactly. Nobody back at X with 3:22 to go.
And Rob, we could see Berger come out of the net at some point in time soon, as there'll be a timeout taken by New Canaan.
It comes here with 3:15 remaining in a 7-4 New Canaan lead. We'll take a break. Back to Dunning Field right after this. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000.
At the Sylvan Learning Center of Darien, experienced teachers and personalized academic support equals superior results. Our certified teachers uncover skill gaps, address specific needs, and help students realize greater academic success and increased confidence. We're enrolling now. Individualized after-school tutoring in reading, math, history, elementary math, algebra, geometry, calculus, high school science, and study skills. For a free consultation, call 203-655-3276 or email gmcsylvan@gmail.com.
3:15 to go, fourth quarter, 7-4, New Canaan leading Staples. Justin, what's the mood down there?
Well, New Canaan, they're feeling good right now. They're up 3 goals, and with a goaltender like Drew Morris, it certainly feels like it's a lot more than 3 goals. On Staples' side, they feel like they need to be aggressive offensively, get the ball back, win faceoffs, and try and throw as many balls to the net as possible. Earlier in the game, they were being deliberate, but that's not going to work so well now. Only 3 minutes left in the game.
Time not on the side of the Wreckers.
And Rob, we were saying before the break, expect Berger to start to come out of the net at some point soon. Double team the ball, try to force a turnover. As this one, de-sticking Burt was Sam Algram there, and what might have been the best rap check we've seen all year.
And most importantly for Staples, he comes up with the ball.
A large, important play there with 2:46 to go. Again, the Wreckers in need of a goal.
And guys, the rain's starting to come down for the first time all night.
And the ball loose out in front, but it gets away from the Wrecker cage. So Zinn able to bounce it along. Can a Wrecker grab it? They've got work to do. It's Tanner Wood. Bodies flying. And whistle sounds. It'll be New Canaan ball, 2:24 to play.
And that'll be the easiest call the officials have to make tonight. Wood with an obvious push on the back of Bowersfeld, and a costly one there as New Canaan back on possession. We're now at the point where Staples will have to rush it a little bit. Had they been able to sustain a possession there, they would have had a little bit of time before having to force shots on goal here.
2:07 remaining. Bounced around. Burt picks it up.
Guys, truly some nifty stick handling from James Cravato, bringing the ball back into the offensive side of the field for the Rams with a long pole. I don't know how he did that.
1:49 to play. Loose ball taken, a whistle and a flag. Back behind the cage. The flag down. The quick indication that looks like a slash with 1:48 to go.
And that might spell the doom here of the Wreckers pending a quick turnover by the Rams. But, AJ, something else to keep in mind. Even if Staples is able to score within the next, let's say the next 20 seconds, they've still got to beat Cravato on draws 2 more times.
Something they have yet to do consistently tonight. Cravato proving that he, as you said, was able to handle Bailey Savio from Greenwich the other day, something we had yet to see, and he's only a sophomore.
And he'll be matched up on Saturday against Tanner Strub of Darien, and that might be one of the best matchups we see all year, including the New York, Connecticut matchups that we have the privilege of seeing during the season.
Scooped up out in front of the Staples cage, sent along and off to the far side and turned right back over as we're down to 1:19 to go, fourth quarter. Again, scrumming for it. It's a Pelt who comes away with it. Sends it along to the far side outside the numbers. Down to 1:05 to go in a 7-4 game. Sticks flying and a lot of things bouncing around out in the turf as we're under 1 to go. The Wreckers certainly gave it a good battle, and we're not trying to put the final nail in just yet, but the odds long with Tanner Wood moving in and 47 seconds to go. 7-4 the score. New Canaan on top of Staples. Reale on the far side. He steps in, trying to get close, flips it along. Again, away from Goldberg. Reale tries to dive on top of it. No, sir. New Canaan ball and 32.8 to go.
Go ahead, Adrian.
Guys, you got to believe, as Justin said, the rain's starting to come down. The ball is getting slick. The sticks are starting to get slick. Maintaining possession a little bit tough here as the game nears the conclusion.
Kyle Smith will try to walk it out as he steps across, comes near side, Johnson on him, and a whistle. And again, good job by Algram to knock him out, and away it goes to Staples, but only 14 seconds to play. They've got a lot of work to do, able to stay in bounds. Braden, though, stripped it away, and O'Connell's got it with 5 to go. They're going to run this one out as we're down to 3, 2, and 1, and this one is over. And the New Canaan Rams able to stay perfect. They improve to 9-0 on the year, and the final score 7-4, and the national showdown now ready for Saturday.
And credit Staples, I thought they played a very good game, but ultimately, in the end, the Wreckers' offense was not enough to match up against the New Canaan defense. And even though we're going to wrap this one up, we're now at a point where we can look forward to the weekend. You're going to have the hottest defense around versus the hottest offense anyone will see right now as the Wave comes in, putting up 17 against Wilton over the past weekend and 20 on St. Joe's today.
Staples and Ridgefield, by the way, kind of the next 2 teams in the FCIAC. They meet Friday at Staples Stadium at 7 o'clock. I imagine that will be a good one as well.
And keep this in mind, had Staples won today, Rob, we wouldn't be talking about the New Canaan-Darien game as the undefeated matchup, but instead Staples versus Ridgefield and what would be going on in the West Division of the FCIAC.
And awaiting on Saturday now, the Darien Blue Wave for the New Canaan Rams, who are now 8-0 in their own right with a 20-2 pasting today of the St. Joseph Cadets. I mean, look, I don't know how Chip Buzzio is going to feel about this game, AJ, but a win's a win, bottom line. But they fought a pretty good team today.
Absolutely. They did not overlook Staples, which, as we said at the beginning of as the top of the broadcast, this was your classic trap game. Looking ahead to Darien, the looming shadow of the Blue Wave, you did not want to discount what Staples can do. They did not go away. And Staples played this game about as well as they had to. They had to be deliberate. They had to be defensive and try and slow down the Rams. They did that to a degree, but just the talent, the explosiveness of New Canaan, a little too much for them to overcome.
A break, then we come back to put a ribbon on it. We'll get a final thought from Justin as well. Post-game thoughts right after this. Final score, New Canaan 7, Staples 4. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or go to coastalorthoexpress.com. That's coastalorthoexpress.com. Like them on Facebook.
A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with a Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
Can't wait for it to get warmer so you can start fishing again? Get over to the Dock Shop, where they have the latest in fishing tackle, marine electronics, boating supplies, and more. But remember, the Dock Shop isn't your average tackle shop. You'll also find the finest selection of nautical apparel, jewelry, home decor, and gifts in New England. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
For over 25 years, Mike Cizik Painting and Wallpapering has been the name to know for residential and commercial properties in Fairfield County. He uses only the top brands, including Benjamin Moore, for impeccable preparation and lasting quality. Call Mike now and receive $500 off any job over $7,000. Mike is currently accepting reservations for spring, so call him today at 203-770-8869 or 203-972-3310. For your custom painting, finishing, and staining needs, it's Mike Cizik.
Join the HAN Network and Make-A-Wish Connecticut to help make travel wishes come true for local kids with life-threatening medical conditions. Donate your unused airline miles to the HAN Network Wishes in Flight campaign. Over 70% of wishes granted involve travel, and your unused airline miles can help make kids' dreams become a reality. Plus, once you donate your miles to Make-A-Wish, they will never expire. Donate your unused miles and help the HAN Network share the power of a wish.
The HAN Network is the leader in local broadcasting in Fairfield and Westchester counties. We reach tens of thousands of viewers via our live news, sports, and entertainment broadcasting. We can create your advertisement and broadcast it through our programming to one of the most affluent markets in the United States. And remember, our broadcasting is live, which means viewers cannot skip or click past your marketing message. And we measure our audience and their demographics on every broadcast. To advertise on the HAN Network, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
And we're back with you at Dunning Field in New Canaan. 7-4 the final score. New Canaan gets the win as they improve to 9-0, 5-0 in the FCIAC. Staples has nothing to hang their heads about. 8-1 now, 4-1 the conference. And I think that's the first place I want to start, Frank, is that, yes, Staples lost. There are things that they will walk out of here kind of regretting. But I think they can hold their heads pretty high.
No, they absolutely should. And the big thing for Staples right now is we get excited for New Canaan Darien. Staples has got to focus on their game on Friday now because that is a more important matchup than this one tonight against Greenwich. You're talking about an in-division rival who, if you beat, you control your own fate on the west side of the FCIAC. But I thought they played a great game. Defensively, there were a couple letdowns that hurt them. And Drew Morris made some saves tonight that, like the Staples sideline said, there's no one in the conference who can make those saves.
Absolutely true. A good job by the entire Ram team, but Swindell got the scoring started at 9:28 of the first. It was 1-0. Nick Cravato made it 2-0. Just 20 seconds later, Michael Real cut it to 2-1. Real tied it in the second with Swindell scoring again in the second. Holzer, Smith, O'Connell, Apelt, and Reale with the goals. 7-4 final score. Let's go down to the field and bring in Justin with a special guest.
Well, thank you, Rob. I'm here with Drew Morris, the winning goaltender. Drew, first of all, congratulations on the win. How'd you play so well in net tonight?
Thank you. You know, the defense stepped up. We played huge tonight. I think we took close to 10 minutes of penalties, but we only gave up 4 goals. So our defense, our whole unit was tremendous. They gave me great shots to see, and I was feeling good tonight.
And Staples has scored more than 10 goals in all their games until tonight so far this season. So normally a 3-goal deficit isn't that much for them. But from our perspective, it seemed like you guys were up 5 or 6. Did you feel that way defensively?
You know, it felt great. Our defense was on the whole night tonight. You know, after a little slow start, we were just feeling great. They're a very good offensive team, but our 3 primary poles, James Cravato, Andrew Barisel, and David Strupp, did great again tonight.
And then I think what everyone around the conference is thinking about is that Darien game on Saturday. First of all, how did you not overlook Staples with that game just a few days away? And 2, what do you guys think about going into Darien?
You know, we knew this was going to be a huge game. Staples was undefeated coming into this one. They're going to give it their very best. Everyone does when they play us. So we knew we couldn't overlook them. And, you know, going into Saturday, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great day. And, you know, they're a very good team. We've got a lot to do to prepare, but we're feeling good.
All right, thanks so much for joining me. Congrats on the win.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Rob, back up to you.
All right, guys, thank you very much. So well spoken, Drew Morris. Thanks to him for his time. 7-4 final score. On we go to Saturday.
And it's going to be so exciting. We'll have the pregame show at 11:30. It should be a great atmosphere and hopefully an even better game.
AJ, thank you for your time tonight, joining us up here as well.
Absolutely. I'm happy I ended up here and not freezing down on the sidelines again.
Justin, great job on the field as well. We look forward to working with Justin again in the future. And with all that said and done from here at Dunning Field in New Canaan, that will do it. The final score once again, the New Canaan Rams 7 and the Staples Wreckers 4. For the Rams now, 9-0 on the year, 5-0 in the FCIAC. Staples drops to 8-1, 4-1 in the conference. Back with you tomorrow morning for coffee break at 11 o'clock. Kate Czaplinski back along with Donald Eng and myself. Don will have history. I'll have weather and sports for you. We'll have highlights from this game as well. Coffee break tomorrow at 11. Nutmeg Sports later at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon as well. And CT Pulse will resolve all the various Connecticut primary issues. Kate and Josh Fisher on that as well. For our entire crew here at Dunning Field in New Canaan, Marty Hersom, Bill Bloxam, Justin Galanti, AJ Simonowski, Eric Gendron directing, Frank Granito alongside of me. I'm Rob Adams. The New Canaan Rams beat the Staples Wreckers 7-4. You've been watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network. Good night from Dunning Field in New Canaan.